We're back now on the Hurst family farm here in northern Missouri, a farm that has managed to stay fairly successful in large part because of you. You're Blake's wife, Julie, and 20 years ago you made a decision. You probably both made the decision, but you decided to diversify and do what?
Well, we had a small greenhouse that we'd spent the grand total of $1,000 for, and at the time we were young, we had small children, and we thought that was an enormous purchase. And we were fortunate enough to make contact with a couple, our local grocery store, and also with a gentleman from the nursery and garden center chain.
That assistance from the community helped the Hurst family to begin what has become a successful greenhouse business, augmenting their income from the farm. But while it meant more income, it also meant more work.
We, like a lot of other small businesses, we worked on weekends. We worked after farming hours, which farming hours can be pretty long. So we spent a lot of our spare time putting this together.
Today, the Hurst family farm and greenery grows a variety of bedding and houseplants, as well as tomatoes that are sold to buyers in Missouri, Iowa, and Kansas. It's a growing family concern where Blake and Julie get help from daughter Lee and son-in-law Ryan.
I want my kids to be able to work here with us. It's a lot of driving. Ryan and Blake do 80% of it. My daughter Lee and I stay and pick up the orders while they're gone.
Their initial investment 20 years ago got the ball rolling, and in the past 2 decades, they've been able to expand as the business grew.
We didn't need to get a lot of expensive equipment. We don't have a huge amount of land. Greenhouses aren't cheap, but they're nothing compared to the price of a tractor or a combine. And so we were able to generate income with, on a much smaller amount of investment.
But the challenges from nature affect both the family's row crops and those grown under cover. High winds and water take a toll on both.
We can tell you that somewhere between 60 and 70 miles an hour is when plastic blows off of greenhouses. And even when it doesn't blow off, it rattles it, it scars it, it doesn't transmit as much light.
Can a farm like yours survive today without some kind of diversification?
I think that you would find most farms, most family farms have got some kind of diversification, maybe in the form of an off-farm income.
Right.
Certainly
So
a high percentage does,
or...
right. And this is my working in town. I think that it would be hard not to have some kind of diversification.
And you find this very satisfying.
It is. This is very creative. It's a lot of handwork, and it's a lot of just plain pick them up and set them down, but we can figure out what we think is pretty and grow it if we want to, and if we think it's ugly, we don't have to.
And Julie, where would you like this greenhouse operation to go from here?
Well, for a profitable year, we'll go back and look at our records and figure out what worked, and then we'll see what doesn't work.